Hey guys, welcome to 100 Fitness. This is my first video. I'm Will, and I've got to be honest with you, I'm extremely nervous about starting this because it's something that I've never done before, and I'm just not really good in front of cameras, like most people I guess. So basically what my section of the channel is going to be about, I'm going to give you my programs that I'm doing along with my goals, and so you'll get an idea of what you can hope to achieve by following my programs. I'll also give any tips and advice of any questions that you have to ask, and I'll put them into videos, and I'll be discussing various topics throughout the program videos. I've been going to the gym I'm 18 years old. I'm in year 13 of sixth form, so my last year before university, hopefully going to Northumbria next year to do business. I've been going to the gym since I was 14, but I've been lifting weights for about 2 years, since I was 16. I mean, today I feel like crap. I think I've just caught a cold the last couple of days, but I'm still excited to go to the gym. I'm still going to absolutely kill it, but you've got to enjoy what you're doing, and that's what I think matters most in something like this. So if you're going to be following the things that I'm doing, and if you're hoping to get some advice, make sure you enjoy it first, or if you don't enjoy what I'm doing, do it a different way, do it your own way, find a style that fits you. But yes, I'd just like to apologise for my awful haircut. Basically, I wanted to do this channel to help people, because I feel that I've made a lot of mistakes in the 2 years that I've been going to the gym, and I want to help people who are my age and people who might be my age now or a bit older or even younger avoid making those mistakes that I made. Because you can save a lot of time, and I just wish there was someone there to tell me and have it all in one place. So if you feel that you can relate to me and you might be in a similar position to me, right now you might not want to prep all your meals, and because I didn't start like that, but you might find a passion for it and you might get to that place, because I didn't start off like that. I started off, like I said, just going in for a jog, and if you asked me back then where I'd be today, or if I'd be in the position I am today, or if I'd feel the same way I do about bodybuilding or going to the gym as I do today, I would have told you I'm mad. But you just don't know what can happen. As long as you're enjoying yourself, I just think you should go for it. And I just want to open that opportunity to younger kids and say that it's alright if you're 16 and don't have a clue what you are doing or what you are doing right now, because I was exactly the same as you. And I'm still learning. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still ignorant. I like to think that you can always get better at the end of the day. There's always someone out there that knows more than you. So I want to give everything I can to people watching these videos, because I think that people deserve it. Hey guys, first of all I want to start off by saying that any information I give off in these videos is just things I've read in articles and books and other videos. So actually I want to use a quote by Sir Isaac Newton, and it reads, if I have been able to see further than others, it is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. Now what I'm trying to say is, nothing that I say is something that I've come up with, or it doesn't make me more special than anyone else that I know this. It's simply because I've found it from other people, and anyone can pick up this knowledge. It's just I'm giving it in one place just to help people out. So this is a 6-week program that I'm giving off. It's 6-day split, so that means there's 6 different workouts and then a rest day in the 7 days that you'll do for 6 consecutive weeks. I'll leave a split description in the description of the video, and any links for the details about the things that I'll mention in the video. So we're starting off with the close grip, shoulder width, bench press. This is incline, so it's targeting your upper fibers of your chest. And what you want to be doing is laying down on the bench and just putting your hands out in front of you, and wherever they place shoulder width, that's where you want to be having your hands. Now you want to have your 2 feet on the floor at all times, and you want to have your back flat against the pad. Now this means that you'll be able to target the upper fibers of your chest and not the middle, because when you arch your back, what tends to happen is your body becomes flat and your chest becomes flat, and therefore it's doing the motion of a flat bench press. So if you make sure your back's flat against the pad, then you can be sure it's targeting the upper fibers. Now the shoulder width grip was targeting more of the inner fibers of your chest, And now we're moving on to the wide grip, which will be about 4 inches wider than the last exercise. Now you'll notice that throughout these exercises my shoulders are dropped, and I've also retracted my scapula. Now I'm going to leave a link in the description to explain what the scapula is and things like that. But basically what you want to do is just make sure your shoulder blades are right pinned back against the pad. This is going to ensure that you can contract your chest. I won't go into too much detail about it, but you need to know that. And also you want to protract your shoulder. Now what I mean by this is you want to bring your shoulder forward when you're contracting your chest. So I'll also leave a link in the description about that, but that's important. Now we're going for 12 reps, which is your basic hypertrophy, which is aiming to build muscle, which is what we're doing in this 6-week program. This is what I'm doing most of the time. In fact, a lot of the information I give out is basically nothing to do with strength or power or anything like that. It's all about hypertrophy and muscle growth, because that's what I focus on. I'm not too fussed about being the strongest guy in the gym. I'm going for aesthetics at the moment. That's my goal. So just finishing up the last set here. I'll leave information in the description about the sets and reps and things like this, but just to give you an idea of what it should look like when you're doing the exercises. Now we're moving on to the fly motion here. This is different from pressing motion. So the range of motion for your chest is from here with your palm facing upwards down to here with your palm facing down. That's from fully stretched to fully shortened, which is what your muscle does during a contraction. It goes from a lengthened position to a shortened position. And muscle fibers are either on or off, so it's like an all or nothing rule. You know, they're either contracted or they're not. And the idea is to contract your muscle fibers and tear them down in order to rebuild them. So the fly movement is a lot different from the bench. We're targeting this range of motion, so you're going really deep. We're having our elbows bent in order to take the tension off our elbows, and we're concentrating on a slow negative, just like in the last exercise, so 4 seconds. Now you want to be bringing your arms down to just where you feel the stretch in your chest and then exploding up. We're going for 15 reps here. Concentrate on getting the blood into the muscle, because blood volume is also key when trying to grow muscles, because you need to stretch the fascia, I think that's the right word, of the muscle in order for it to grow into. So there's 4 sets of this as well, and you want to be doing the same thing, so keeping your shoulders depressed. Now when I say depressed, I mean rather than hunched up like this, like you were doing a trap shrug or something like that, you want to keep them down. This is because when you raise your shoulders, it's actually your body's natural instinct, because when you're underweight, it's not a natural thing to do. Your body doesn't want to actually body build. So what your body does is it uses its mechanisms and its structure to make the exercise easier. So by punching your shoulder up, it actually lengthens the chest muscle. If you notice, you'll just try it at home, you'll notice it. And by lengthening it, makes it a lot easier, because it obviously doesn't have to contract, and it's not going to hurt the muscle, which it doesn't want to do. So you've got to consciously be aware of what you're trying to achieve, which is muscle breakdown, and targeting that muscle. You've got to isolate it, which is the key to hypertrophy and bodybuilding. You're picking a muscle that you want to break down and grow and annihilate it. Now we're moving on to a cable fly. Now ideally, if you can move the height of the cables in your gym, you should probably move them down to about chest height in order to increase the tension. But I'm just doing this for the purpose of the exercise. It's got to stay at the top. Now this is going to focus on the inner chest. Now the last exercise was focusing on the outer fibers of the chest, because it was working the chest in its lengthened range of motion. Most of the tension was back here, whereas the bench press was working your muscle in this range of motion. Now you can normally do more weight on the bench press as opposed to the fly, because your muscle is strongest in the middle range of motion as opposed to the shortened and the lengthened. So you'll notice as on this machine here, I'm doing 10 kg either side, which isn't an impressive weight at all, and I was using 10 kg for the flies. So this is a shortened range of motion, and the flies were in the lengthened range of motion, whereas the bench had a lot more weight, and that was working it in the middle range of motion, which is a lot stronger. Now you want to be bringing the cables up to your chin height. Now this is going to work the inner fibers of your upper chest. So you've got the clavicular head, which is the upper part. You've got the middle parts of the chest, the fibers, and the lower part. I like to work a lot on the upper part because it gives it a nice balance. Now you want to make sure that, again, your shoulders are back, your scapula is retracted, and also you're pronating your shoulders. Everything else wants to be still, and the only thing you want to be doing is moving your arms. Now I want to talk about the lever for the chest. So the function of the chest, as we said, this is the length and this is the shorten. So what the chest does, it actually brings your arm across your body. So the lever is your elbow, not your arm, even though that's where the weight goes. So what you want to be thinking in your head is focusing on bringing your elbow across your body. So when doing something in the shortened range of motion, like the fly, you want to be focusing on trying to touch your elbows together, and make sure that every time you contract, which is the concentric part, the positive, you're focusing on squeezing from your chest and not trying to move the weight. So when you get to the lengthened position in each exercise, when you get to the outer range of motion, make sure the first movement comes from your chest. And you should see your chest contract before the weights even move. Right, now we're moving on to biceps. One thing you should be doing throughout these exercises is tensing your abs. As you can see, I'm doing this here, and what that does is that allows your body to stay still and just move the muscle you're trying to target. And also tensing your abs can help you to engage your abs, so when you're doing ab exercises you might feel a better mind-muscle connection. Mind-muscle connection is simply the connection between your mind, your nervous system and the muscular nervous system. So it means that you'll be able to contract a muscle more efficiently and therefore more growth. So here I'm focusing on keeping my shoulders retracted rather than pronated. I'm also retracting my scapula, just like I did in the last exercise. And what the function of the bicep is actually to pronate your arm. Not only does it bring your palm up to your shoulder, it actually twists your arm as well. So what I'm focusing on doing is pushing through the weight through my pinky finger. That's gonna really contract your bicep a lot more than if you were just doing it normally. It's 12 reps for each arm. So 12 reps again, and you do 12 reps on one arm, then that's the failure, and then do 12 reps on the other arm. We're also supersetting it with the barbell prone curl. This is gonna get a lot of blood into your biceps with the supersets. Now superset simply means it's actually a compound set, seeing as it's both bicep exercises. So a compound set would be one set for a muscle group, immediately followed by another set for that muscle group with no rest. Superset would be the chest exercise with the bicep exercise, so two different muscle groups. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll see you next week.